The youth of every generation has been told that they will be the righteous inheritors of the earth. But today we'll talk about a group that did not wait to inherit the earth. They took issues, they took matters into their own hands. We're talking about a generational cohort. I'm sure many in this audience are part of Gen Z. And the Gen Z has been, generational Z, has been part of several protests, several life-changing and, institution-building protests across the world, if you take, from Bangladesh to Nepal. But I think in India, this is the first time that Gen Z, or anyway the youth of the country, of the state of Tamil Nadu, have ushered in change. And I said this session is important. It is important because I think for the first time, the inside story of TVK will be told. And all of us are eager to hear how you pull this off. Should we start, sir, with, you joined the TVK in September 25. June 25. And the party itself was started only in 24. So what was the strategy right from the beginning that was undertaken right from the launch? How did that change? And what were the key elements of this strategy?
A very good morning to one and all. Before coming to your question, I like to highlight my association with this Hindu. If you ask any civil service aspirant, the first advice they get is start reading Hindu. Okay. So, and also there is a qualitative difference how civil service aspirants read the Hindu. And they read it religiously, they underline, they take notes, they take paper cuttings, and they paste it in their notebooks for reference. And with regard to me, I started my civil service preparation when I was posted as a medical officer in a remote village in Krishnagiri district. There, the Hindu paper was not available. So for me, the paper used to come from nearby town Hosur by bus, and my hospital staff used to collect me. It will reach me by 9 a.m. and I used to eagerly wait for the newspaper to have this glimpse of what had happened the previous day. So I'm really happy that I'm here at the Hindu Huddle. Now coming back to your question, everybody is eager to know how TVK pulled it off. So even my friends in US and all say, how did you manage it? So, see, there is a more obvious reason and there is a less obvious reason. See, this electoral success of TVK in April 2026, the base for it, the strong foundation for it was laid by the political success of Tamil Nadu as a party. From a budding party, we successfully emerged as the primary political force of Tamil Nadu. It was not a mere accident. It was not a fluke. It was by clever strategy and clear goals and clear vision and the courage of conviction of our leader. See, this political success rests on two main pillars of TVK. One is, of course, the charismatic leadership of our leader, C. Joseph Vijay. Many people tend to see him as a great actor, just an actor. But no, please understand. Imagine the situation, for the past more than 60 years, Tamil Nadu had been ruled by these two parties, well-established parties, and nobody, even in their wildest dreams, would have thought that a fresher, see, like a first-generation entrepreneur, a first-generation graduate, our leader is a first-generation politician. A fresher can start a party and take on both the parties and unseat them. Nobody would have thought that. So, by sheer leap of faith, by his courage of conviction, he took the bold step to get into politics and to reform it. This move, this courage of conviction, this bold step of coming out of his comfort zone when others previously had hesitated and others had failed, this bold step of him earned the respect and love of the Tamil people. So TVK's support base is not just his fan base. It's much, much, much bigger. And that's why I keep saying, political Vijay is more powerful than actor Vijay. Then the second aspect of the success, the strong ideological grounding of the party. See, Tamil Nadu is an ideological state. Without ideology, without clear articulation of the ideology, it would have been easier for other parties who have been waiting eagerly to brush it off as a B team of somebody else, of a C team of somebody else. But we clearly, even in the very first conference, we clearly articulated our strategy. Our leader articulated our ideology. That is secular social justice. That formed the base. That formed the base on which the entire edifice of TVK stands. And I would say these two factors pulled it off and formed the base for this electoral success of TVK.
Right.
And one more thing. See, another crucial factor is that people who had charisma, they didn't speak ideology. Those who spoke ideology didn't have charisma. So when charisma meets ideology, it had become a deadly combination. You couldn't imagine the way this ideology got connected to each and every sections of the people because it was spoken by a charismatic, truly a son of a soil.
Right. When we met before the elections, I remember you said over 30% when I asked you what is the vote percentage that you are targeting. At that point, it seemed very incredulous, let me admit. But the party, the TVK, has scored over 35%, nearly 35% of the vote percentage. Now, honestly, post facto, did you expect this kind of one vote percentage to the number of seats? Incidentally, the TVK has 108 seats, completely unexpected in the Tamil Nadu legislature. They fell short by 10 seats, but that was managed with coalition partners, post-election coalition partners. But my question is, did you anticipate the scale of your victory?
See, as you said, we had met last year. So now, even at that time, I was very confidently saying to Madam that we have crossed 25% and we are nearly touching 30%. See, this is not a sign of overconfidence. This was based on facts, hard facts and ground reality. See, there was such an anti-incumbency which was prevailing, this undercurrent of anger among the people, their livelihoods were suffering. So, as I had said earlier, for the past 60 years, people of Tamil Nadu they were waiting for a leader, a truly universal leader. That leader had come, and the facts which I have told you was based on our internal assessments, which were, our leader is very, very strict, disciplinarian, and anybody can't mess with him. So when we speak the facts, it should be right. And it was the true facts which I had mentioned, and it turned out to be a fact. Then you mentioned about that 108 seats. See, now when I see in retrospect, I see this has been the best mandate for TVK. Even if we had got, say, 130 or 140 seats, I would say this is the best because the people of Tamil Nadu in their infinite wisdom have given this for a reason. I feel, see, imagine DMK is our stated political rival, which would have been more painful for DMK. We getting 130 or 140 seats and forming a government on our own with their allies intact, or we getting 107 seats, falling short of majority, and we were successfully able to pull off their allies. Now, DMK has not only lost power, they have lost their allies. This is a truly a secular alliance, ideological alliance. DMK has never, ever won an election without their allies, even right from the beginning. So, this mandate, I feel, even if it is 108, falling short of majority, is the best mandate we can imagine.
Right. You also mentioned that it's a very secular alliance. So that is another question that has come up. There are many accusations that the TVK may be a B team of the BJP, but what is the commitment of the TVK to a very secular rule in the state?
See, this has been the accusation right the day when our leader started the party. Even in the very first conference, our leader had stated that BDMK is our political rival and BJP is our ideological rival. No party, to my memory, has boldly taken on both the ruling government dispensation at the state and also at the union level. And really, I could only laugh when people say, even now that we are a B team of BJP, because you might have seen the amount of difficulties and hardships we faced. Even that movie Jananayagan, you might have seen. So amount of pulls and pressures our leader had got. This is a fundamental right as an aspect of freedom of expression. He loved his movie. Whatever he does with dedication and sincerity. And he loved the movie profession. That's why he rose to that level. This last movie, he was very passionate and close. That last movie was very close to his heart. When that release was stopped, for reasons everybody knew, even then, he stood his ground. He said no. No means no. We'll stand by ideology, stand by the stated principles, come what may. So, I would only say that our actions will speak much better than words. You will see in the time to come.
Yeah, I'm sure we're going to be watching as well. The other thing when we talk about Gen Z-led protest or Gen Z-led change is that this generation are probably the truly digital natives. And their ability to leverage social media, but also to connect, leveraging this decentralized sort of networks without leaderships. This was obvious even in countries abroad, but here there was a central leader, there was Chief Minister Vijay, but how did you manage to leverage this sort of network of contacts that reached out through word of mouth? Because one other thing that was unique to this election was children telling their parents how to vote. And that was a direct impact of the campaign of Mr. Vijay. So how did this social media work for you? What was your strategy?
I agree, Gen Z were at the forefront and they have been the more vocal supporters of TVK. But it would be not just to say that the success of this party was solely based on Gen Z revolution. I would say it was a family revolution because people of Tamil Nadu voted in families to TVK. Not just Gen Z, our leader was emotionally connected to each family. I would say this, you are mentioning about social media presence. Yes, true, we had a strong organic social wing. See, unlike any other party, it was fully unstructured. They were driven solely by the love for the leader and they would listen to no one. Just please believe me, they would never listen to anyone, even the leader. If the leader's decisions was wrong, if they felt that it was wrong, in many instances, they had openly voiced their concerns, they have openly voiced their issues, highlighting the leader. They would tweet highlighting the leader, Anna. They used to call the leader as brother. Anna, this is not right, please correct. That is the way our social media function. But especially these women, they owned the party. It was their party, it was their leader, it was their son, their brother, their uncle, their mama, what they call. Yes.
True, that trend was pretty obvious. But the other thing that you also did was to leave the traditional campaign methodology by the wayside. For instance, the campaign mode from district to district, which the other Dravidian leaders did, undertake even this time. So I would think that in a sense it threw us off, because we, usually as journalists or as people who watch elections, judge on the basis of how a campaign is undertaken. So there weren't many campaigns on the ground, if you comparatively to the Dravidian parties, or even a party like NTK, Nam Tamilar Katchi. Was this also a conscious decision to leave these traditional campaign methods behind?
Yeah, see, there was a strategy in everything we did. There was a strategy in the choice of name of the party. When BJP was saying that we would imagine we want a Tamil Nadu without Kalahams, we named it Tamilnaga Vetri Kalaham. There was a strategy in the design of the flag. There was a strategy in that very basic tenant of our party, which is Pirapakum Ella Uirkum, which means under the universe, everybody are the one and same. So there was also a clear strategy and clear vision based on the ground realities. See, I am a doctor, so it is basically a science. We design the strategy based on the ground factors, the amount of inputs we get, and where are our strengths, where are our weaknesses, and it was designed tailor-made on those aspects.
Right. So allow me to drag the elephant in the room here now. Karur. What happened in Karur? There was, a different kind of reaction from what we expect of politicians from Mr. Vijay. So he left the venue soon after. He also did not come to the location to meet the victims. The victims instead were brought to Chennai, and of course, solatium was given to them. So what went wrong at Karur? What is the TVK's? Of course, now a lot of blame has been placed on the DMK government and the police at that point of time. So what happened at Karur?
See, what happened at Karur is a subject matter of CBI investigation. I think it is in the final stages. Let the report come out. And when you said some things about the leader, I would say that they are not just voters, they were part of his family. It really shattered him. And especially when young kids, they lost their lives, it broke him. And it really was a matter of great grief for him, not only for him, for the entire party. Our leaders sincerely wanted to go back to Karur, and in fact, one fine day, had made arrangements. Previously, you would have seen, he had gone to the victim's place without informing anyone. At the night, he used to go, and without informing anyone, he would take the party's general secretary along, and only his logistics arrangements would be made according to him. And he was prepared to go one fine day. But having known the risks involved, then people near him, we all told, kindly sir, don't do it now, because already there are a lot of issues. So with heavy heart, he turned it down, otherwise he would have gone back. He would have gone back to Karur to meet him. And after this episode, I was personally, sir asked me to go to meet every families, and he spoke to each family members of the victims through video call. And we made all arrangements for him to visit Karur. We had selected even identified a place. And I would say, I remember none of the marriage halls or wedding halls or the venues were ready to give space. They were all say, sir, we have nothing against your leader, but after your visit, we need to be in business. Kindly excuse us, sir. That was the standard response of every marriage halls at Karur. In spite of that, one marriage hall was ready to give us permission, and we had almost made all the preparations, and finally, based on some critical security inputs, we had to back off from the decision. And this decision to meet them at Chennai was based on all these factors. And for our leader, it was, see, it didn't matter where he wanted to meet. It mattered for him to spend quality time with each of the victims' family. And at the end of this session of meeting, each family members, they felt their pain had been really shared by the leader, and the purpose was solved.
Right. You mentioned that, marriage halls were unwilling to, give space
Yes.
at that point. So now, of course, things have completely changed. You are in power, and that's what power does. But talking of change, the TVK's slogan was change. We will bring change from Dravidian parties, from the manner in which things have been happening in Tamil Nadu all these years. But what is this change? Can you define it for us?
Yes. Is it a change? I would say yes and no. Because, as I had said earlier, Tamil Nadu is an ideological state. If you compare the ideologies of DMK and TVK, there wouldn't be any great difference between them. But there is a fundamental difference. The ability to the capacity and that to adhere to the principles and stated ideologies is a key difference. DMK, unfortunately, due to its own inherent weaknesses, you name one minister who is above board, who name one minister who is free from corruption charges, and who you name one minister above whom's head any the sword of investigative agencies are not hanging. When such is the case, DMK has lost the ability to stand by its principles and ideology. Yes, DMK lived by the ideology during the time of Anna, but unfortunately, and this is a fact, that DMK under the former CM, Sri Stalin, lost this basic fact, and this ideology of DMK remained on the paper. So, I would say this mantle the person holding the mantle has changed, that mantle remains. And that is social justice, and we stand for it, and secular social justice will be our driving principle for this governance.
Right. One easy question about your sartorial elegance. The Chief Minister himself is wearing a suit in the assembly. And, ministers are, either in shirt and the khaki pants that you popularized during the election, or, as you are. So this also is a big change in terms of what Tamil Nadu has seen. Is this also part of your strategy?
Yeah, I'll tell you this. Before these elections, even I was wearing dhotis, and I used to not tuck my shirt. For this swearing-in ceremony on May 8th, this 10th, I had come not in this attire. I had come without my shirts tucked in. But my colleague minister said that, hey, what are you here? See our leader, he has come in suit, so you have to be like him. So then immediately I borrowed a belt. I didn't carry a belt with me, so I had carried a belt. And from then on, I started wearing this back to my officer days. Let's see, this is a refreshing change. That's what many people say me. Ultimately, our performance matters, not the looks. We are hopeful that we will deliver and will get the acceptance of the people, and they must. More important is that people must feel that they have voted the right party.
Thank you. So, few more questions. Maybe one from me, and then open the floor out for just one question. I'll ask one question. The average age of your ministry is about 44.6 years. This is also a huge change from in the past. Does this count? Of course it counts for bringing in fresh energy and a lot of enthusiasm to the task at hand. But how do you account for the inexperience that this age cohort might give you?
I agree. The new cabinet is inexperienced, but experience without integrity, experience without any intention is a real cause for all the malaise which is the state is facing. experience can be gained. We have intentions, we have integrity, we have clear leadership, and I'm sure that this aspect will be overcome in the near future.